YouTubers, it's me again, and here's the tarot for the week. And once again, we're going to do our 5-card reading with the same deck of cards, and we're going to see what's going to be going on this week, or what's the theme for this week. So let's get going here. Okay, so let's get going here. What's interesting about this particular spread is that they are all reverses, and those of you who know me, I do reverses a little bit differently. Reversals are where the stage that these cards are playing out on is going to be a little bit different. They're going to be on a more internal level. So with a reading like this, when they're all reverses, it means you're not going to be the main power plays that are going to be going on this week. There may be other things going on outside of you, or other forces working on you, but the main ones that you're going to be worrying about are going to be internal work. You'll be doing a lot of internal work this week. And another thing I noticed about this one before I get started is that they are all minor arcana. So the way I view the minor arcana is that they are mostly the day-to-day things, like going to work, getting paid, that sort of thing. Those are what the mundane kind of things, that's what the minor arcana are all about. The major arcana, on the other hand, is about the big players like fate and death and all that good stuff. That's big things that are going on. They're kind of like they're the thread within what's going on, everything, but they're not the day-to-day things. So what's really weird about this reading right now is that they're all minor arcana. So this week you're not going to be doing a lot of big, gigantic work for the outside world. It's all going to be just menial or mundane things that have to do with you internally. So you're probably going to be going through a lot of everyday things, like everyday mundane things. That's pretty much what this week is going to be about. And it's all going to be internal, so it's all going to be semi-personal towards you. So this week is all about you, basically. So let's get started. I just wanted to say that before I got started. So I'm going to tell you the cards first in their order and what they represent. So let's get started here. Here's the first card, your first part of your week, and this is also a reverse card once again. So it's the 9 of Pentacles for your first card, which is the beginning of your week, is the 9 of Pentacles. And the middle of your week, also a reversed card, once again I mentioned they all are reversed, is the 9 of Wands. And the middle card is the middle of your week. Kind of the turning point of your week, because the other two cards, the beginning and the end of the week, kind of bleed into last week and next week. This card, the middle card, is the meat of your week, what this week is all made out of. So it's the 9 of Wands. And the third card, which is the end of the week bleeding into next week, as I said, and this one is the 3 of Pentacles. Okay? And the other two cards, the lower card is, it's also reversed. It's the things that you cannot control, and this is the 4 of Swords. These are things you cannot control. And then the last card is what things that are within your control, or things that are up in the air, still being decided. And this is the 2 of Wands. Okay, so that's the reading itself, and I'll go into each card individually in just a minute. So that's the reading. So let's get moving here. Okay, so let's get started with your week. Your first card for this week, the 9 of Pentacles, reversed. This card, for the beginning of the week, is a very strong starting point. You're in control. You are the piano player. You're playing things to your own tune. You're in a very good place right now. There's not really much else I can say about this card. I'm struggling to find things to say about this this reading, because it's so mundane. It's so blah. But someone out there needs to hear this. This is going to be a very blah week for you, but it's a good week. I won't say blah is actually a very bad thing. sometimes you just need these kind of weeks to be quiet. But you're starting from a very strong standpoint. It's 9 of Pentacles. So you're in a very good place right now. You're in a place of power. You're very stable right now. So that's where you're starting from. And it's a pentacle, so you're physically very, very stable right now. You're physically very stable. And then you get another 9 here in the next part of your week is the 9 of Wands. And I would also say this is a very stable card as well. Because this card is about loyalty, about continuing the fight. Whatever you're doing has got your heart and soul involved in it, and it might be mundane, it might be kind of blah, but it's important and it needs to be done, and you're somewhat enjoying it. It's going to be a good week. It's just basic day-to-day stuff. You're not going to have anything pretty much come in and destroy and wreck things. This is a kind of a week to kind of sit there and rest and continue with what you're doing, of course, but just not be constantly thinking, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Nothing's happening next. It's just the day-to-day things. You're getting things done, and things are going well. They're not going fantastic, but they're going well. Things are getting done, and not much to say in that arena. But I also will say that you won't have too many social interactions as well, because this is all about you. These are all internal cards. So things are going well for you right now. It's just a very solitary existence right now. You kind of pulled away from people. And this is all about you, basically. And the last card is you might be moving out of the solitary existence a little bit, but it's going to be a very close relationship or a very close friend. Someone who is very close with you, almost a twin flame. I'm kind of getting that picture. You're going to be working with someone, or parts of yourself even, that you're going to be creating something, and you're going to be doing some work, and you're going to be creating something, but it's going to be more internal, and it's going to be more personal work. So that's what this card is all about. That's the beginning of your end of your week. So it's moving on from the solitary existence that you've had the last few days, and you're going to be moving on into more social, aspect. It's going to be still connected to the mundane world, as it is a pentacle, but it's going to be more social. It's going to be more outwards, but not as much. There's that balance there. You're moving out, but you're still staying within. But yeah, that's what you're going to be moving out into the next week for. And what's not within your control, this was a difficult card for me to actually get a hold on, because it's such a soft reading. It's such a pleasant reading, actually. It's kind of boring. The Four of Swords is with that not within your control. And Four of Swords, she's got a very meditative stance. She's very calm. She's holding her swords. She's keeping her own counsel. You might be doing a lot of meditation this week, and your meditations may be going to places that are not really within your control. You're meditating on things that are very deep meditations. You're going into very deep meditations this week, and you're not finding anything astronomical about it. You're not finding anything that's flamboyant, but you're going deep, and that's pretty much what this whole week is about. Is that it's going to be a very solitary existence for you, and you're going to be going very deeply, very personal this week. It's not going to be flamboyant. It's not going to be big, but you're going to be doing some deep thinking this week. And the last card is what's not within your control. And this is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is about conflict and about making decisions and things like that in a spiritual arena. You have control of your decisions spiritually. You do have control over the conflict within yourself, and whether or not you're going to address that conflict. During this week, you're not really going to have anything to be distressed about. You're pretty gone through it's kind of like you have control over the fact that you can either stay within this solitary existence and stay within this calm, or you can find things to worry about. It's your decision. Your decision to create conflict or not. To be spiritually conflicted about the calmness or the peace that's going on right now. You have control over that. And personally, I don't really think you have anything to be worried about this week. Maybe you will next week. But this week is going to be pretty, funny, real bad. This card just fell out of my deck, and as I'm thinking about next week, and it's the Tower, and I'm like, well, so this week's calm, I don't even want to put that on the table, but, yeah, so take advantage of the calmness. You have a choice to be worried about the calmness and whether or not it's leading up to something else, calm before the storm kind of thing. Or you can just live in the moment and just stay within the moment and say, let's take this calm before the storm and actually enjoy it. I'm not going to say there's things coming up, but that last card was kind of pointing towards it. But yeah, calm before the storm, maybe, but don't worry about it. It's in the future. Don't worry about it. Just stay in the now. And right now, you're kind of being calm. It's calm. Everything's going okay. So that's what this week is going to be about. Nice talking to you guys. And I know this is a little bit strange way of reading for me, but I think it went well. So see you next week and have a good one. Bye.